name is Morgan Lewis, and my speech is about washing your hands. Proper hand washing is something that everyone needs to know how to do. You can literally save your life by washing your hands often and correctly. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why you should wash your hands, where germs like to hide, and how to wash your hands the right way. First, viruses and other microbes are hardy enough to remain infectious for hours, days, or even weeks. For this reason, Smithsonian Magazine says viruses can easily spread unnoticed, especially when infected individuals don't always exhibit symptoms, as is the case with COVID-19. Because the viruses and bacteria seem to hang out in mucus and other fluids, it almost certainly spreads when infected individuals cough or sneeze. Released into the air, infectious droplets can land on another person or a frequently touched surface like a doorknob, shopping cart, or subway seat. Fingertips offer safe harbor to bacteria and viruses for at least an hour, but they are hardly the best hiding places. Look at your palms. They are filled with hideouts. The most abundant breeding ground for microbes is under the fingernails. The subungual spaces, as they are known, are responsible for 95% of the bacteria found on your hands. It takes a full 5 minutes of washing to kill 99% of these organisms. After that, it's a short trip for the virus from hand to head. Researchers estimate that on average, humans touch their faces upwards of 20 times an hour, with about 44% of these encounters involving eyes, mouths, and noses, some of the quickest entry points into the body's interior. Second, hand washing may be the difference between getting really sick or staying well. In a 2013 USA Today newspaper article, it is stated that a strain of Staphylococcus aureus has become resistant to antibiotics, yet any good hand washing can still send it down the drain. Americans have become complacent about hand washing. However, more than half of the cases of E. coli and the staph infections caught by hospital patients could be prevented. Hand washing is the most effective disease preventing measure anyone can take. The USA Today article also says that most people wash their hands for about 6 seconds. We're more aware of the sanitation and hygiene, but people still aren't doing it, says Karen Francois, a physician at New York Presbyterian Hospital, Weill Cornell. It's so important to make hand washing convenient. If it's easy, it would really encourage people to have proper hand hygiene. Next, the optimal length of time for the removal of most microbes, according to cdc.gov, is about 20 seconds. Lathering and scrubbing hands creates friction, which helps lift microbes from the skin. Smithsonian Magazine says that soap molecules are ideal for this task because soap can incapacitate viruses. CDC.gov recommends that we follow these 5 steps every time. Wet your hands with clean running water, warm or cold. Turn off the tap and apply soap. Number 2, lather your hands by rubbing them together with the soap. Lather the backs of your hands, between your fingers, and under your nails. Number 3, scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. Need a timer? Hum the happy birthday song from beginning to end twice. Number 4, rinse your hands well under clean running water and let the water run down your arm to the sink. Number 5, dry your hands using a clean towel or air dry them. In a recent interview on National Public Radio, Mary Louise Kelly told Madeline Sophia that drying your hands is important because your hands are actually better at transmitting germs when they're wet than when they're dry. If soap and water are not readily available, the CDC tells us that you can use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol, while Smithsonian Magazine points out that hand sanitizers with no alcohol won't have the same effect, and 100% alcohol isn't a good option either because some water is needed in order to unravel the microbial proteins. Then, the Center for Disease Control wants us to know that hand washing is also one of the best ways to protect yourself and your family from getting sick. It helps to keep you healthy and prevents the spread of respiratory and diarrheal infections from one person to the next. And finally, washing your hands is easy, and it's one of the most effective ways to prevent the spread of germs. Clean hands can stop germs from spreading from one person to another and throughout an entire community, from your home and workplace to child care facilities and hospitals. The CDC says it is important to wash your hands after you've been in a public place or touched an item or surface that may be frequently touched by other people. According to Smithsonian Magazine, it is also important to avoid contact with sick people, to stay home if you are feeling unwell. It is also important to use a disinfectant cloth and clean your technology, your tablets, cell phones, etc., at least a couple of times a week. Now that you understand why it is important to wash your hands, where the germs that can cause illnesses can come from, and the proper technique to wash your hands, I hope that you will use this knowledge to do a better job of washing your hands. I also hope that you will pass this knowledge on to other people. The sooner that we all use this knowledge to help ourselves and others to do a better job of being conscientious about hand washing and being safe, the sooner we can start moving towards getting our lives back to some kind of normalcy. Please remember, wash your hands. Keep humming that happy birthday at the sink until it drives you nuts. It literally could save your life. Thank you.
Good job. You're getting a lot more comfortable